realize that my microphone is a source in this, so you can hear me. Get ready. How exciting for you. It's exciting for you to hear me get ready. Let me see if I can. Well, hello there, Magic Bouncers. Welcome to the stream that so far appears to be doing okay. Although the KBPS is not as high as it was a minute ago. Oh, fudgesicle. Now it was 2,000, now it's 200, now it's 800, now it's 754, 739. I'm watching my OBS value. Oh, no, it's 1,400, 800. I don't know if this is going to work, but we've had no drop frames yet. Welcome to the stream. Before it craps out on me, and I really did order a new internet service. I never thought I would give AT&T another penny of my money. Not on purpose, at least. I don't know how many companies they own and all that. But signed up because my broadband is not working out, and it's been a year since I got them, and the past 3.5 months have been pretty bad. 4 months. So there you go. That's what they get, I guess. But look what I did last night. I think I'm going to adjust things because I had an epiphany. But I'm going to play maximize, so you're going to see it real big once it finally comes up. All right. So now we've got, boom, realistic effects pack effects, and then we have a whole bunch of them. So now if you have realistic effects pack 4, you could have these working out the gate. Now these are hard to aim, by the way. That's what they're cool effects, right? So there's a couple more things I wanted to do today, because I was only able to get these working. And I made some docs on this already, because I was writing down my notes as I went through. And there was one effect I couldn't make work because really cool effects, but I am not happy with how they set up the package. If we dig into it, maybe if somebody has some ideas, you can tell me what's what. But when you look at these effects, first of all, they only trigger when you turn them on. So, and then they trigger immediately when you turn them on. Oh, what? You've got a mirror? The delivery of that line was too clunky, but it's funny nonetheless. So all of their freaking particles, first of all, they're all physics based, so you can't not push back whatever you hit, which kind of annoyed me, because I like to have full control over things, and with physics based you don't have full control, so either you go all physics or you don't go physics, like with the pushback. So that's a shame. But they all have these scripts on them, and these scripts are, shall I say, not the easiest to read. So they are not commented. The long methods, so Wyman would be like, what? That's method's too long. Plus, Story would be like, what? There's way too much nesting. And I agree. It's very confusing. No comments. Very difficult to know what's happening where. But I realized that these are essentially, they create their own rigid body. This is not cocktails encoding. What is it? Coding? What did I say? It was I said something, right? Didn't I call it something clever? Maybe not. Maybe I didn't call it something clever. Try to call it something clever. No, not clever at all. VFX, assets, and projectiles. Is the Uncle Bob camp not nesting? But either way, so I realized that at runtime, this script will create a rigid body and a collider on it, and that was confusing me. But the thing is, you can't not use collision detection. If you turn that off, the thing doesn't even fire. It won't even fire. You can't do it. So I don't want to, for these integrations, I don't want to redo their scripts, right? That's not the point. The point is to make them work with it without having to redo the scripts. If, God forbid, they ever updated things, that would ruin everything. So you don't do that. So what I did in the end, on these collision, or this is the physics motions where they add the actual rigid body in the collision. So I add this on collision helper. And it calls the projectile class on the main parent. And all this does is on those things, it passes that to the projectile. It's very simple, and this is misspelled. I noticed this last night, but I forgot to change it because apparently I can't spell collision ever. I always do it wrong. So that's all this does. It's very, very straightforward, I think. It just converts all of those to one on the projectile, and it works. It works perfectly fine. Oh yeah, and one I mean, it seems like I appreciate simplicity. It has to be readable. Code has to be readable. I try to, and I know some folks will say, oh, as I say that I realize I didn't. Well, I wrote a comment up here. If somebody's looking through, I want them to know a little bit what I intended. So I wrote this big blurb. The rest is very obvious what it does. I think it's pretty obvious what it does, so I don't need to add more. But I do like code that, you know, I try to do tooltips now on everything or most everything, and I will go through and add more comments because I want that. But also, you know, angle exceeds max. Hopefully, you know when, you know, if where is it used? It says if angle exceeds max, then do this. So I think hopefully that's easy to read too. But you mean like a kid's book? Sometimes I feel like kids' books shouldn't be so expensive because, you know, some of the pages really only have one word with not even a picture on it, and it's like, I don't know, kind of a waste of a page, right? Am I paying per page? Maybe books should be charged per page. Like, why is Audible 1 credit for a 2-hour thing, and also 1 credit for an 80-hour series of books, a box set that just happens to be a box set at once, and it's the same credit for 80 hours versus 1. Same thing in America. How come there's 2 senators in Montana and 2 senators in California? Makes no sense. Anyways, that's my political rant for the day. I'm sure you can fill in the blank for other political rants. So for a second ago, I was thinking, wait, why didn't I just put the particle on effect 1? And that was a good question. That's why I was thinking, like, for all of these, I basically put, why is it taking so long? I put this here, and I put this helper turn on object as spawn, another new script. I haven't commented this yet. Let me do that real quick. Intended to be used with systems like the realistic effects, where it doesn't handle the turning on and off, or when the particle projectile only triggers when it turns on. This way, the projectile will be turned on at on launch. Intended. Yeah, so it turns on and off objects. No big deal. But you can do other things. Use this in conjunction with the turn on object at spawn effect modifier. And turn on object at spawn. Looks like it's not loaded. Turn on object at spawn. By the way, the bull, I saw you were playing League of Legends. Told me. I saw your name and it's switched to playing League of Legends. And I thought, I've never played that game. Not that I felt better than you or anything. I just never played that game. And that's what I thought. I don't want to give you the impression that I was like, I've never played that game. Yeah, so this is a spawn behavior modification. Spawn behavior modifications happen after spawning, but before all the behaviors do anything. So it's modifying the quote unquote spawn behavior. Makes sense for the name then. And for this one, we have a projectile. No, that's private. We'll get the projectile. So we do the set projectile. So on spawn, we'll do the base on spawn. Then we're going to set our projectile, and then we're going to call the helper. We're going to get the helper, and if there's no helper, it's fine to throw an error because there needs to be a helper. We're going to have the turn on object thing, and when it's on disable, turn off object. That's all it does. On enable or on spawn, turn it on, and as soon as it turns on, it's going to fire the the Kardashians. It's going to fire the projectile. That's just the way it is. So it's a one-shot thing. I think we could work this with other things. So like if we took this to, I don't know, actually the degrees won't work. This is the other problem with it. If we do 3 at 30 degrees, I think it's going to fire 3 of them, but it's not going to. Oh, sorry, I didn't save the prefab. My bad. But it's not going to do the angles, I think, because the angles are controlled by the particles itself. Also, let me make this play focused. Button, apply all. So, you know, part of the goal of the projectile power system is that you can change out one shot for 3 shots at 30 degrees, and then boom, now you got 3 shots at 30 degrees. That's all it is. You change one behavior, everything else stays the same, and your Bob's your uncle, right? But in this case, yeah, we got 3, but it doesn't do the 90. It's all messed up now. It doesn't do the 90 degrees because I don't even know what it's doing now. It doesn't do 90 degrees because it's controlled by the thing. Although maybe it should do 90 degrees. Is it colliding with itself? I should check. Let's quickly check, because if it can do this, then that's wonderful if it can do that. So we'll go back to our helper, on collision helper, and I believe this is going to be the on collision enter that's happening. So we're going to say debug.log collision with other game object name. So let's just see what it's colliding with. If it's colliding with itself or something. The other thing, I had to change all the layers to projectile, which makes sense, I suppose, that you would have to do stuff like that. But yeah, I love the effects, but they're just set up in a way. And the one I couldn't use is using a raycast. So there was no way for me to get the information back to the system that I needed to get, because the raycast has a collision, but you can't build a collision object. And so I couldn't pass that through. You could make a script to do that. Oh, that time I did 3 things. Collision detected with collision. Ah, interesting. So in this case, collision, this is the object, is a projectile, and it's colliding with that because there's no layer mask here. So there's no way to keep it from colliding with itself. So they all collide together. Because they're all at the same spot, even if they're angled off. So it did angle it. That was nice. You mean I shouldn't buy a boat because... I mean, I shouldn't buy a truck because one day I want to buy a boat? I also don't want a truck or a boat, by the way. I would like a pool. That's what I would like. That's the one big expensive thing I want at this point in my life is a pool. The rest of the backyard too, but the backyard with a pool in it. Right now it's weeds and dirt and some jackrabbits that are very cute and come around and eat the weeds and sleep in the heat. And that's fine. I'll keep that for years and years and years and years and years. And I'll go to my friend's house. She has a fake pool every summer, and that works. Does just fine. What to do? So the problem here is that they collide with each other. So I'm gonna make some notes on this because I think people who use this are going to want to use Realistic Effects Pack 4. But the problem is there's these considerations. And in this case, it seems like we can't change the collision. Unique considerations, limitations. Here's another limitation. Collisions with various layers. So the issue is that there are no layer masks in the Realistic Effects Pack for collision systems. So if we spawn multiple projectiles at the same position, they will collide with themselves. So we need to make sure they always spawn in separate spots. So I think we can do this. I just wanted to write down my notes. And the reason why I think we can do it is if we look at our spawn behavior, we have this offset. So I'm going to make a duplicate of this. And we're going to spawn in 90 degrees, and we're going to call this Realistic Effects Pack 4, and I'm going to bring this up to the Realistic Effects Pack 4 spawn behavior, because I want to keep that separate from other things. My goal, my plan is that I will just have a Unity package in there. You could do that, but then everybody has to do that. So it's something I'm going to suggest here, and in fact, let me write that down. Well, you could ensure the layers don't collide in the collision matrix settings, or you can use the. Well, let's do it first, and then I'll talk about it on the docs. So the position offset from spawn position. Let's do this 0.1. I think 0.1 might actually do the trick. So we're gonna use that one here. Turn this on and apply all. And let's see if that does the trick. They just need to be a little bit away from each other, really. The colliders, I think, on this are set to 0.05. They're very small. Actually, much smaller than I would have thought. That's why it's so easy to miss with these projectiles. Nope. Alright, let's try. I think we can change this at runtime. Let's try 1. We'll just go crazy extreme and see if that works. Okay. So 1 works. And that's cool, that's fun. 0.2. Nope. 0.3. Nope. 4. Nope. 0.5. But that actually doesn't look right now, because look, they kind of look like they're crossing over each other a little bit. So I actually think we can go bigger. 0.7. Yeah, that would work. I mean, it's a little far out, isn't it? So 0.55. Alright. I'm going to stick with that. Hey, but there we go. So now we can get 3 at once. Isn't that cool? The other option then will be to use this. Let me pause this. And we'll quickly highlight it. Apple, probably because somebody would decide it should be more minimalist, makes you click this button now to open this. It makes no sense. Why it's not open by default? No sense. It's such a convenient feature being able to just draw things on the screen, but Apple sometimes is silly, like the mouse thing and how you charge it. So there you go. And I'm actually going to bring these up here. It's not really a limitation, it's a consideration. Options in the spawn settings to push out the Z position of the spawn position as seen in this screenshot. That's cool. I'm happy with this result. A range for the spacer? Oh, I think I have a minimum. I do ranges on some of them. I try to do it more often. Story has drilled that around like this. Being able to do 3 at once is fun. But for this one, I don't know I don't know what's reasonable. I mean, 50 billion isn't reasonable, I suppose, but also having a range up to something that's unreasonable is also unreasonable. I think this can't go negative. It actually should be able to go negative. Yeah. I don't know what's reasonable here, actually. And it could go negative, because I suppose you could have a situation where you want it to spawn behind the spawn point. This is often, the intent of this is supposed to be like, oh, you switched guns, and this gun is now a little bit bigger, so we need to offset the spawn position. So maybe this gun does shoot it from the back, you know, of the gun. And again, this is also like, that only matters if it's the character that is the entity, the object that has the projectile spawner. If it's the gun itself that has that, then it doesn't matter. So, but the gun might actually have 2 spawners. It might have one in the back, one in the front, multiple barrels. I don't know. So there's a lot of variability there. All right, so this is fine. I like this. I'm happy with this. The other thing that they have a lot of, because this pack has a bunch of effects, but I only have 6. I only converted 6. Do you know why? Most of the effects are not projectiles. Most of the effects are like things that happen right on the target. So I have a thought, and I was thinking, while it's called projectile power, is there any reason why it can't do a projectile that instantly hits the target without actually traveling? You know? Some of these effects are really, really cool. Like I said, I really like the effects. So let's take effects 27. That's cool. Simplistic, but it's cool. Again, we have to turn it on and off to make it work again. But that's cool, right? 26. That one's cool, bloody. So what I'm thinking is, I want to build a version that basically does that. That does boom, and it's going to do 2 things. One, it's going to spawn on the target, wherever the target is, and it's going to make the target pause. Now that's just going to be a custom script, really, that just says target pause or whatever. And it's going to be for this demo, because right now, well, how's the target even move? The target's moving with this move between points. All I have to do is turn that off and it stops. So I think I'm just going to turn that off. And maybe we'll build a script that can be overridden. So it'll just be a script that says, you know, projectile power got hit script. I don't know, something like that. But we'll figure that out. So the first step, though, is to build a projectile that doesn't project, that just instantly hits its target and doesn't have any motion. So it's not really a projectile at all, but it does the trick. You can imagine that there was a magical force that took no time at all to get there. I am still amazed, by the way, at light speed. You can go to ChatGPT and type in, I'm going to type in, I am always amazed at how fast light is, especially when I'm asking you questions and you respond with a huge wall of text crazy fast. And then I go like this, return. And then it's like, well, this time it wasn't that fast, but it was still fast. Like, the amount of stuff going on. Anyways. Why haven't I tried League of Legends? Well, first of all, because I'm not a child. That's not why. That's not why at all. Is it on iOS? App Store. I really don't need to play more games. Well, I should get on my iPad, right? Not my iPhone. I'll be right back. Alright, so you think I should play League of Legends even though I have work to do? You know I'm a busy person. I barely have enough time to check my own Discord these days. League of Legends. Oh, I'm in YouTube. Let me go to the App Store. I was searching YouTube. Because that's all I watch. On this iPad, I only do YouTube. For a while, I was doing Hearthstone. I was doing Hearthstone, and then, so it's League of Legends Wild Rift. Is that it? Or is there just a League of Legends that's just League of Legends? There's a lot of clones. What's neat is so many of these are made in Unity. Don't you like that? Not Wild Rift. I can't find it. I just searched for League of Legends and I'm not finding it. Let's see. Go to the top. Mobile Legends add. League of Legends Wild Rift. Mobile Legends TFT. Explore League of Legends Wild Rift. I don't know. Seems like they don't really want me to play this game. League of Angels Paradise Island. I don't get the whole collect the heroes thing that so many of these things do. Like, that's the goal, is to collect the heroes. Dungeon and Heroes 3D RPG. I love the SEO on that name. There's a good chance that they use assets from the asset store. Oh, it's like Heroes of Might and Magic. Yeah, they basically recreate Heroes of Might and Magic. Good for them. Good for them. More people should do stuff like that, but they should try to improve it and make a better version. Nope, it's not here. It doesn't exist. There's no game called League of Legends. There's only the one that has the other words after it. Yeah. Okay, anyways, that's enough. I only watch YouTube on this while eating chicken wings. It's weird. You'd think if I search for the name, you'd think it would have just come up. But maybe Apple's search thing is there, yeah. All right, let's move on. So we need to create a Spawn behavior, because this is going to be a spawn behavior, right? Well, no, it's not spawn behavior. You know what it is? It's non-movement behavior because it's not moving. It was on the App Store, yeah. There's only one still. Only in Europe are they forced to use other stores, and I think none of those exist yet. But also, I don't know if I'm going to trust other stores. I barely trust Apple, and I trust Apple the most. All right. So this is non-movement. If we look at, actually, I'm going to make a new one. We're going to duplicate this, turn it on. We're going to do effect 26. Turn this one, delete that. Effect 26. Make it a prefab so we don't lose our junk and overwrite something accidentally. Prefabs, projectiles. Original. Oh, I also had to make a variant of effect 14. It was only going out 7 meters, and it was annoying me. And it turns out they had this thing where at 7 meters would turn off the rigid body, and that would just be the end of it. I was like, figuring out how to change that to make it go longer. Again, no comments, no tooltips, just here's a bunch of numbers. It was, yeah. That's funny. This looks weird down here. Like, that looks really like... It looks like a bloody pill. It looks disturbing. I'm disturbed by that. All right, so this is going to be the same thing that just turns on and off. Hopefully there's no collider on this because we don't need one. So what we're going to do, we're going to need, again, we're going to do one shot. It's fine. We just need one shot. We're going to have a modification that says spawn position at target. So create, well, we need to actually, yeah, we should create that actual script first. Spawn behavior modification. So if I go to velocity physics, this is my suggested way of creating new ones, copy and paste. Because copy and paste is, whoever invented copy paste, I think there's stories on that person, but they're a genius. We're gonna say spawn on target. Spawn on target. New spawn on target. All right, we will move this to its own little script. All right, so we're gonna pull the target from the system. You already know the target. If you want to have more control, then you could extend this, but I think this will be sufficient for us. Yeah, the only games I've released, I should say, were for the iOS store and the Mac store, and I never did Steam, even though I got greenlit in less than 24 hours, which I hear is really good, but then couldn't figure it out. I must have been in a mood at that point because, in hindsight, I probably lost out on at least $20,000. Even if the game barely succeeded, I probably would have made like 20K or something. So, oh well. No sense harping on the past. All right, so for this one, we're going to get the target. We're going to do a public override on spawn, I think it is. We're going to do the base on spawn. All right. That is pretty much, yeah, what we're doing. I think what we need to do, though, is turn the projectile... Because if we move it... It might go... You might see stuff. So I think we have to turn it off first. So projectile object dot set active false. Turn it back on. I don't know if this is going to... Well, it's going to turn it on. Well, it's not going to turn on the base object. So we're going to have that behavior too. That's fine. And then we're really going to go to the projectile dot What is it called? Parent? Oh, no. Spawn. Projectile spawner dot target. You know what? I keep doing this where I'm like, why don't I have a property for the target position? I don't know. Public vector 3 target position is going to be target dot transform dot position, and while we're at it, public. Why is that underlined? What? I do have it? How come? Oh, what's this whole use alt target position thing? I don't even remember why I have a use alt target position. Okay, but apparently I do have this. Why wasn't it coming up here? Huh. Seems odd, right? Projectile spawner. Target position is right here. Let's see. What am I missing here? We don't have the alt target position either. It's supposed to be getting this object, projectile spawner, which doesn't have that. But projectile does. Why is it giving me projectile? Projectile spawner. Oh, duh. Yeah. This is this, duh, which is that. But luckily, we do have the target right here, I guess. So we don't need to. We just need to position. All right, that's it. That's why this whole time I must have been like thinking about it wrong. I probably just forgot I had that basically. That should be it, right? This spawn behavior modification will modification on the target position. Do I need any other information? It turns off the projectile before movement to ensure that's not visible until it reaches the target. Basically, any particle that spawns by distance would be spawned in this motion, if I'm not mistaken. So that should work. Spawn on target, spawn on target, spawn on target. So we're going to go to our main package, data objects, spawn behavior modifications, create projectile system, spawn behavior mod, spawn on target, spawn on target. We don't need any, there's no other options. We don't need other options. We don't need no options. Where we're going, we don't need options. Spawn on target. So we're gonna do the spawn on target first. These should happen in this order. So we're gonna do the spawn on target, and then we're gonna turn object on its spawn. The object we're turning on is effect 26. So we'll turn it off for now. We'll apply that. We'll close this. Now it should be done. We should add it to our demo player. And where's our projectiles? Effect 26. Now we press play and we hold our beers. I don't like beer. I still don't like beer. Do you know that reference? A code review stream. Go over the structure of the code from top to bottom. Oh, that's a good one. I do that all the time. Uh-oh. What happened? Target position. We null reference this. So each projectile has a target. Okay. Okay, every projectile. He will. But good at the same time. Every projectile has a target, and you can change that target. So if your movement behavior is chasing a target, and you change the target, you can change it. So I'm calling the wrong target. I don't want to call the target on the projectile. I do want to call what I was originally doing, calling it on the projectile spawner. This is my projectile spawner target. Doesn't have a properties for that. So public vector 3 target position. Thank you, AI, for just knowing me. Oh. Alright, transform forward. What else do we need, AI? What else might come in handy? Transform forward position. Sure, we'll keep it. Alright, we're going to steal that, though, and spawn on target. So I was kind of right the first time. Projectile spawner dot target position. There we go. So the spawner has a target, and that's the thing, that if you have a game where you are targeting things, then it will actively like let the player choose. Or if you have a game where the player doesn't, when they hit that trigger button, you're gonna find a target real quick. Maybe it's the closest, maybe it's something out. The AI is wrong. I know. I love the AIs. Don't you? It's such a... I do also fear for the world and all that, but man, it feels like the world's new again. Like, anything can happen. Oh, like another null reference exception. Where is this happening now? Hey, did it not save? I think it didn't save. Yeah, it didn't save. That was the issue. It's been doing that for the past like 6 months. Rider and Unity haven't been talking as much, and sometimes you think it saves, but it doesn't actually save all the files. And then you go into Unity and it's like, this thing that shouldn't happen is happening. It's right in all the wrong ways. It's so obvious. That's the thing. Like, it's the future, right? We all, not we all, but many of us watched Star Trek and saw the computer doing amazing things. It was dumb compared to, well, no. There we go. It was smart compared to the AI that we have now. But, oh, by the way, did you see that I have object pooling in here now too? Tech Dave, was it you who was saying, do you have pooling yet? Well, I do now. They turn off. Pull from the pool or create a new one. I don't have Codium. I don't use that one. But I have Rider. Is Rider Assistant the one I'm using in right here? Yeah, AI Assistant. But I use Copilot and that. All right. So the next step is being able to say this one slow down or something. Pause when you get hit. I think this is gonna be. I don't know. Well, actually, no, that's not the next step. Let's not do that yet. We have to call the. We have to tell it that I actually got hit. So on our player here, we have this observer. Observers are basically anything you want that observes what's going on. So it's literally the observer pattern, as I understand it. And so this observer, demo actor observer, it literally is looking for on launch and collision enter, trigger enter to hit the object. Let's see. So yeah, on launch we register the owner of the projectile. So we know who owns it. And then it'll be an instance of this. This is a scriptable object. So it's an instance. So on launch, it registers who owns it. Then collision enter or trigger enter, we call a hit object, and then the actors do their thing. The actor scripts have a register hit thing, and they do their thing. But that's how you can kind of look at what's going on and then get the information out to make your systems work with this. And it's very easy, I think. The me of 4 years ago, 5 years ago, probably would have been like, what? I don't know. I'm good. I'm good. What is it gonna do? What was I going to do? I was going to say we need a collision behavior. So we need to also call the collision. So we can do actually one more thing. We can make this a separate one. Spawn on target. Alright, we're going to make another behavior modification. And it's going to be called, can you guess? Collide with target. Collide with target. That's it. And guess what it's going to do? On spawn. What do you think it's going to do? It's going to say projectile dot on collision enter. And no, I have a special, I think I have a special on collision enter, I think. What do I do? I've got something. Don't I have something? How do I do it in the other? One of these other ones does a thing. What is it? Which one is it? Was it just these? So I guess we could just add a collider and then I can just use this. If one of them does a thing, what do the others do? What do you mean? What you talking about, Jason? A thing. I think what I was expecting was I could just say target got hit, but the problem is that it's looking for a collision. And I can't build a collision object. So I think I'll do it another way. I think what we'll do is use this on collision helper. So we add a component here. Let's turn it on. Add a component collider. Make this collider a little bit smaller. Is that a good spot? That's a good spot. That should collide with things. Make it a little bit taller, I guess. Suppose. And then we're gonna put. Oh, we have to make projectile as well. Yes, change children. And then we'll have our helper on collision helper. We call the on collision on this, and we should be good to go. Let's find out. I'm trying to also not over-engineer things, but yes. Fire an event on the collision. You could have your function register with that collision and fire alongside the event. Well, I needed to get the collision first. That was the issue. I didn't have a collision. Now we do. Oh, here's a problem though. It's colliding multiple times. And it's pushing because it's a collider. And I think that means, what does it have to be? I always forget. Is trigger. And then is trigger won't make it move. We're gonna have to turn it off too, by the way. No raycast. No raycast. So It is happened multiple times. He's every time I enter, so we just have to turn it off. Wrong script. We can just add a new thing here. Public bool turn off on collision, and actually not even a bool. We just have a game object array, I suppose. And then darn. Now we have to do statement bodies on all of these. Turn off objects. And we'll make that down here. Thank you, AI. You are my friend, and I love you. Alright, I'm just gonna do this. I just told the AI I love it. Uh-oh, that one didn't work. On trigger exit projectile. What happened? What did I do? Oh, that's why. On trigger enter. On collision enter. Alright. So we don't have to do this. Wait a minute. That's not right. Undo. I mean, we could keep that, but we'll keep it because why not? But public bool turn off colliders. And then we will do private. Oops. Yeah. Nope. Not quite. I probably should have given it the private. So private collider. And now, yep, there you go. And then now, no, yeah, didn't quite get it, but that's okay. Private void turn off collider. We should do a check. If not turn off collider, return, and if the collider's null, if collider equals null, return sender, otherwise turn it off. Oh, an extension method. I've been doing more of those. Okay. We can do that. I've got my utilities. Do you make a utilities, or do you do a separate script for extension methods? I've got a few extension methods already in here somewhere. I have to clean it up, but they're in here along with other stuff. Let's see if I can write one off the top of my head, because I usually have the AI just do it for me because that's just faster. But public static void turn off. Wait, how do you do an extension method for this one? Oh, interesting. That makes sense. It keeps the script from being too long too, I suppose. But in this case, I think I don't need an extension method, so I'm gonna undo my thought of doing that because it's just this, and I don't know how I would do an extension method for this because I don't know if the collider should turn on and off, so I can't just call it. I would do that here, I suppose, but maybe you have a different thought in your head than I was thinking. But Story, isn't it like 2:30 in the morning? Maybe maybe a little 1:30 in the morning. Ah, I see what you mean. So yes, we're gonna turn off the collider. Let's see if it works. Oh, wait. No. I just changed the script. It should be fine. Let's find out. But see the problem that I realized? We never turn it back on. You have to turn it back on. I know. This of all the effects in the package, this one is gory. Aw, good job, Jason. I'm glad that we are your bedtime story. Which gray box game? And who's we? What do you mean, we? Story makes the best looking gray boxes, by the way. Partly because he puts post-processing them in it, and I haven't done that yet. Okay, let's wait for the... Oh, what? Wait, what? That wasn't supposed to happen. Alright, so they're turning back on again with the object pool. That's good. But they are clearly not turning off. Alright, let's see. Nope. Why didn't it do that? Do I need to search specifically for box collider? I don't think I do. Do I? I hear every time we ask the AI a question, it's like 25 cents or something. Do we have to specify box collider? Oh, that could be why. Nope, my bad. My bad. I was saying if it's not null, assign it. And it should have been if it is null, assign it. Slow-mo guys. I like those guys. Those guys make sometimes pretty interesting videos. But I don't know what the slow motion of death is. Alright, that's now. I don't know why the audio... Oh, look, there was a null reference. Why was there a null reference? Collision helper? Oh. Oh. Interesting. It was happening on enable. It wasn't assigned. What happens first? Oh. Alright. On enable happens before start. Alright, that's fine. Jason Story, what's the crossover percent between enterprise and game dev in Unity? Do you mean enterprise in Unity? Hmm. Nope. I get all these freaking spam calls where they just say, hello, Andrew? Hello? Hello, Andrew? And stuff like that. And it's like, it's an AI voice, almost certainly, or just a slave in India. Or I guess they're not in India. It could be India, but they're slaves in Thailand now. What is the deal? Like Chinese companies, or they not Thailand, they're wherever the country is right next to Thailand, and they open up basically a slave factory right next to Thailand. They get the people to come over, so all these spam people we're talking to are really just slaves. Alright, so this is working. Alright, so now we can do the rest. Isn't that nice? Which one did I not get to do? Effect 16. We won't do Effect 16, but I think the rest we can try to do and make sure that they all work. So we'll do 27, 7, 25, 24, 23, 2, 21, and 20, and then we'll do these and then go from there. Let's do them all in an assembly line style. Delete. And where are our effects from Realistic Effects Pack 4? 20, 21, 22, 23. Oh, we still need to make the character stop. Okay, we'll do that after this. Alright, I'm going to assume all of these are the same. So we just need to add our helper. Yes, we want to turn off the colliders on all of them. And each of them is going to have a different projectile. Some of these might not be the same setup, but we'll find that out when they don't work, basically. Okay, and then we'll turn all of these off. And then each one of these will get a different one down here. And then we need to set the layer for all of these as well. And we're just going to collapse these. Set the layer to projectile. Yes, change children. Then we need to save our prefab so we don't override our existing prefabs. Original for each. Okay. And then we just need to turn these off. Go to our demo player, which is a variant actually. Or it should be a variant. Yeah. Realistic effects pack for variant. And then we're going to add the other effects down here. 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, and 27. And then we will test these out. The whole frame thing made sense to me with Unity, and then when I tried to make a non-game, I used Unity for it because that's what I knew, but it was an iOS app. And I was thinking, how does this work? There's no frames. But I guess there probably are frames, a refresh rate, but yeah, you probably have to create your own frames or something. All right. I think our positions are off on these. I probably just forgot to zero these out. What I've noticed is I think their prefabs are off, maybe. But them's the breaks. They are very nice looking particles. And I have a feeling I'm going to make a video showing all of these in action. There's going to be a disclaimer that these are from a different package. And I'm going to get people saying, I'm buying that for those. And then they're going to be very upset when they find out that it doesn't include those. It only includes integration. So if you have those, it will work out of the box. But you need to have both boxes. Look, it's still high. Uh-oh. That one is a turn on-off one. It doesn't turn itself off. So that's effect 25. Oh. Well, that's a different effect. I like that look, though. Isn't that cool? I really don't... I think... I don't know exactly how they do that, but it's really neat. Oh, I didn't make these triggers either. But that's high too. Did I not save these prefabs? What's going on? I should have turned them on before I expanded them all. So all of these need to be... Oh, I didn't even set a collider on all these, but some of them are clearly have colliders. All right, so this is where we need to figure out which ones are creating a collider. And 26 uses the script effect settings. So anyone that has effect settings can be set up like this, I think. Okay, so 27. I think that one's going to be good. Effect settings. Okay. Then there's some that are not. This one was the one where I said it doesn't turn itself off. So we're going to have to figure that out, but we'll do that later. Effect settings. Paste this name. Why is this one different from that one? I don't know. I just don't know. Yeah, I have no idea why one is bigger than the other. It doesn't make sense to me. It's the same script, right? RFX4 effect settings. There must be an editor extension on this or something. Anyways, we'll figure out which ones work, figure out which ones don't. Troubleshoot the ones that don't. All right. What is this? Story. All right, 27. Still high. Why is it high? Because it is high. Because it is high. Because it is high. Da 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 da. Is that why? Because it's spine in the middle? Was 26 doing that too? I bet it was, and I bet that decal just projects on the ground. Alright, so we need one other thing here. Spawn on target. Spawn on target. It makes sense to have an offset, right? Whoops. Options. Public. Vector 3. Target offset. Correct. You're right. Plus target offset. Wait a minute. Oh. It was a different type of vector 3. All right. Uh-oh. It says 2000 now. I've got 74 dropped frames. That's 0.1%, so I'm okay for now. It looks like it just had a blip. Just a blip. Right? I think it was just a blip. Nothing. So all of these now. Oh, yeah. Spawn on target. We're going to change this to be offset negative 0.5 y, because this is going to be negative 0.5 y. So now it's not just a bare bones thing, but that's okay because they're all here, so it should just work. It should just work. Whoops, clicked the wrong window. Alright, that's better. I think the we're gonna have to figure that one. That one's effect 25. Let's just move this. Interesting. Effect 23 apparently has its own collider. I think this one's supposed to make things look like icicles in their demo scene, but 23 and 21 both have ladders. Okay. So effect 27. Oh, weird. So it's, is it, what's the deal? It doesn't look like it's centered, but I feel like it just is too small. It's still too high. Like it should be down here. Right? Is my target just really big? How big is my target? It's 1. And... no, the target's on the ground. What the heck? Alright, 2 things. 1 thing is... did I do this -5? I did. Alright. Let's do some debugging. Debug logs. Debug.log. Target. Target is at that. We will spawn at that. And debug.log. Object is now at that. All right. I'm glad my internet's working tonight. It's a shame that they didn't work yesterday. You know what? The thing that made me say, let me just look into a different service, is I was talking to the person. They could see that I had turned off my modem, which did creep me out. And then they said, you turned it off 16 minutes ago. And I was like, yeah, I don't like that you know that, though. And they could turn off my modem remotely, which I also didn't like. And then the phone disconnected while I was talking, and they didn't call me back. They have my phone number, but they didn't call me back. And I thought, they should have called me back. Alright, so now it seems to be working. Maybe this was one of those things where the script just didn't save right. It's still showing up a little bit far back, though, isn't it? Like, let's pause it and do that. And I think... but look, now it's high again. Why is that happening? We'll spot targets at 0.95. We'll spot 0.45. Is the target demo target or target object? Okay, so we need to move it down 1, I suppose. This doesn't make sense. Let's see what the target is. Target is target object. Target object is 1. Whoops. Demo target. Gross, that's not it. Target position. Target position! That's what we're targeting. And that's in the middle. Oh. And if we lowered it to... oh. No, it's 1. All right. Well, that explains that. Yeah, so the lesson learned. They should just call you back. Yeah, it's fine now. I've had 34 dropped frames, it says, so it's fine. So whatever was happening last night. All right, there you go. Now, of course, it's almost too low because it's not showing that fancy little bottom part. All right, so 25, 24 does that thing. 23. Is that 22? Is this? Just making sure they're all actually hit. I'm hearing the hit, so of course they are. Alright, so now it's just 25 that we need to worry about. Motion back on. So 25 is an interesting one. In the video, it's huge. Like, it's above 3 characters and they're huge. But in my game, it looks like this. And it's small. And it should be taller. I think we should put it up here or something. So I think this one needs to be. Is it? Let's play with it. Is it automatically finding the ground? No, it's not. Alright, so the ground is about there. So this is at position 2.56. So we need to raise it by 1.56. So for 25, we need to use that one. And let's see if it works. It is alive. It's true, we could do ground plus X. But, oh, apparently...
Okay, I found this on the web for can you...
saying it's alive triggered Siri. Yeah, I know. I'm sure there's a lot more people I don't want seeing can see. Alright. So that works. I wonder what happens if we rotate it. No, I was hoping it would do a thing. Now the other thing is what happens when, like, how do we turn it up? There's probably... Alright, let's... Effects... Settings... Fade out time. Where do we use fade out time? Fade out. How do we call fade out? On the update. If prev is visible, does not equal is visible, previously is visible, equals is visible. If is not is visible, start coroutine, fade out. What? So it's saying if it was previously wasn't visible, or okay, if its previous visibility state is not its current visibility state. Set it to be its current state. And if it's currently not visible, fade it out. So we need to do that. Just is visible equals false. All right, custom script time. So for just this very one, because it is a cool effect, but for just this very one freaking thing, we're going to do custom script no, we're gonna have to do spawn behavior, I think. So currently we have one shot. I think we just need to do a toggle. And then we need to make a new version of this. Let's start with just doing the toggle and seeing if that works. If this works, then we'll just make an update because we want it to fade out. That looks nice. It looks pretty. I like pretty. We all like pretty things. That is, up to you. That's the thing. Yes, let's run through them all full screen. The thing is, for this demo, for this integration, I want to show integration. So they work. But how they work, like, is it 3 or is it 1 or is it rotating, or, does that only happen when there's 3 characters? Because in the demo scene, 3 bad guys turn on. In their demo scene, 3 bad guys turn on, and then it hits those bad guys. But clearly, it's not doing anything smart there. All right, so this one was one that we set up to make it 3. In there, it's only 1 in the real package. All right, then we got this one. And this one, which kind of just lobs a thing. And this one. This is the one I had to extend because you can see it. No, there was another one. There were 2 of them. That one, I don't know. Maybe it was the first one. Either way. Their colliders are very small, and with the trails, it so often looks like you hit it, but you don't. Alright, and we still need to make it stop. See, it would be really cool if also during this slowed movement through it and all that stuff, that did damage over time. But that's stuff that people have to do for their own games. Okay, here's 25. We're gonna skip that for now. Okay, go back to it. Turn off motion. Turn on motion. Turn off motion. It's stuck. There it is. I have it set to target, or toggle rather. So it's supposed to turn off, but instead I can just turn on a whole bunch of it. Let's not do that. What's the difference between that and my projectile that's a laser? Cold beam. I have damage over time projectile, toggle shot, collision, destroy when particle is destroyed. Destroy when particle is destroyed. Maybe that's it. That's the one we have to do. Let's try it. when particle is destroyed. Alright. Because I would like to make an override of whichever one is going to destroy it to make that fade out be true. You know? Oh, I'm getting a null reference. Oh, that's not an issue. It's because I forgot to turn this off. That confused me yesterday, and I spent 20 minutes doing stuff that it turned out I didn't need to do. Trying to solve a null reference that wasn't actually there. I just thought it was. Oh, never mind. It is there. Is it only after... Oh, particle is destroyed. We can't use that. That requires there to be a projectile. So we're gonna say if projectile visual is null, we're gonna return, but we're gonna make a thing here, debug.log warning, no projectile or no visual effect behavior found in destroying when what the heck we're not destroying it. I mean, we could, but this destroy behavior requires a visual effect to work. Yup. Did you know I'm not going to make a custom inspector for this one? I like making custom inspectors, but I decided this one was better to not, because I really do think people are going to hopefully be okay with creating their own derived classes, which would be very nice because they could do so much more with it. That's custom to their game. And I don't want them to think, well, then I have to make a custom inspector, because they don't. But so this has a 5 seconds delay, but if there's no collision, it also destroys. We're gonna make this 8 seconds though. Just, I don't know, just because. Alright. It could be that we just don't make an integration for this if I can't make it work properly. I mean, I guess I can. It's, yeah. I just need to make an automatic destroy that destroys after, like, it lets it run for 2 seconds and destroys it. Or it does the fade out and destroy it. Yeah, okay, so I'm going to change it back to one shot. That's what we'll do. One shot. And we're going to make a new destroy that's based off of simple destroy. And this is going to be called new realistic this is an interesting thing. What do we call it? Because it's very specific to our so we're gonna call it RFX4 effect settings turn off, what was it, is visible, or set is visible false. And I'm gonna add destroy behavior realistic effects pack 4, and there you go. And let me undo because I didn't do the right thing here. I was about to replace my original one. All right. And this is going to inherit from simple destroy. And it's going to be called RFX for effect settings set is visible false. We're going to be very explicit with this script name. And what are we going to do? We're going to say public float lifetime is going to be, we'll say 2 seconds, and public float destroy delay is going to be, say, 5 seconds, and stable behaviors. I don't know if we need that, so we're gonna do, yes, let's see, do destroy. Yeah, we're not gonna, but we can do this part. Actually, we can do this part. So we're gonna set, actually, what are we gonna do? We're not gonna do that there. All right, let's see. Public override, whoops, that's not how you spell it. Override tick. On tick, we're going to, well, we're gonna have 2 things here. Private float timer. And on tick, we're going to increase the timer. If you do a pause system, you're going to have to update this to work with your pause system. If timer is greater then we're going to call how are we going to get a reference to, yeah, we'll just get the class in children. Will that search for the children too? I don't think so, right? Of projectile. Will it get the thing in children? I don't think it will. Will this find the component if it's on a child of projectile? I misspelled everything there. So we're gonna do that, and then effect settings dot is visible is false, and then we're gonna say if timer is greater than lifetime plus destroy delay, then we're going to do destroy projectile. And then we're just going to put back in the pool right away. Oh, actually no, we're not going to call this do, we're going to call projectile dot do destroy dot projectile destroy. What do we call it? Do on the projectile. Do destroy. On destroy. That's what we do. On destroy. And it's protected virtual void. Oh, trigger destroy. That's what it is. Trigger destroy. We don't need to pass that. And that will call do destroy. I didn't think it was going to get it in children. I thought we had to do that. That's what I thought. But I still ask the question. Alright, then move this to its own thing. I'm a programmer, but you start even more advanced. No way. I'm not an artist. I was a programmer first. I mean, I do art stuff, I suppose, but really I'm neither. An expert in none. Although I do feel I should be better at programming than I am now. But I think I just spent too many years not advancing fast enough. It's fine in the end, but... Alright, so one shot, this. We're going to create the new destroy behavior. We're going to move that up here. Create destroy folder first. Destroy behavior. And this is going to be create projectile system, destroy behavior, realistic effects 4. Oh. Same field name. Oh, we gotta fix something there. Okay. What is the issue? Is it? Where is this an issue? What's the issue here? I'm gonna leave it the way it is. Oh. Is that's... That isn't it, is it? Is that the issue? Lifetime, so let's do a header because we want to keep things organized. Realistic effects pack 4/options header. Forgot those. All right. All right. And then we can add this as the destroy behavior. Right? This is a destroy behavior, right? Oh. It's effed up, delete. Create projectile system. Destroy behavior. Alright. It was just missing its thing. Set that. Set that. Override it. Turn it off. Press the play and see if it works. Well, thank you, the bull. $25. Stop your motion. Should take 2, then turn off, and then destroy after 5. Okay, it did a lot of that stuff, but I don't like that it just destroys itself. Is that the intended behavior? Fade out time 1.5. It seems like look at all these scripts. I'm a fan of custom scripts, but okay. Is active state. On enable. Deactivate game object. Set active to. True. Current time. If it's active state and the current time is greater than the deactivate time, then we turn it off and deactivate. Turn the game object off. But this is 4 seconds. And our light was on for 7 seconds. Let's see. Yeah. Alright, let's expand this real quick. Jesus. So much going on here. That's fine, but man. So these lights aren't even turned on. This is the light. There's no, it doesn't appear like there's any way for this to turn off. It just stays on. Alright, well that's not my problem. It's not my problem. That's a Realistic Effects Pack 4's problem. Let's see what that one looks like. Because I think they do a very good job of making these look even better than they do in my project. So, for example, mine aren't turning into ice. My things aren't turning into ice. Mine also doesn't look like that. Like, I have that particle effect. I think I do. I think that is number 8. That's true. That's why you have to comment everything. Because when I get bug reports, I always have to go through the scripts and remind myself what the heck I did. This one? Is it this one? Part effect 18. Effect 19. Oh, I don't have 19. Where's 18? This is 18. That's weird. For theirs, it's one. It lasts longer. That's 18. That's this. It doesn't look like that. Huh. Certainly is, but I think they've got more set up. They've got a demo scene. I just didn't install it. They just have more set up in the end. See, they've got this stuff. I don't have that. Effect 10. Do we have effect 10? So let's look at effect 10. Let's I shouldn't have pressed stop, but let's look at effect 10. And let's see if we can integrate that, because that has a nice pause at the beginning, a delay at the beginning, which I haven't demonstrated. And the whole point of this integration is also to demonstrate things. Not the whole point. Part of the point of this whole thing is to demonstrate. Effects 10. Alright, so this is a built-in effect. All it really, the real big thing here is it just seems to have a, let's see, turn it off and on. So it does its thing and then it goes forward. So there's just a delay. I mean, what if we just... Getting kind of annoyed with this pack now. Effect 10, effect 11, 12 has effect settings. Alright, let's just see. See what we can see. Delete effect 10. Projectile. Yes, the children. Collision needs on collision helper. To this, and this needs this, and let's just see what it looks like. Maybe this one, whoops, will just work. Add it to our player. My eyes are not working all of a sudden. Where's our player? Right there. It had a longer name. I think my brain was looking for a shorter name. All right. Oops, wrong button. Alright, so the difference here is it's not staying with the player. So in this one we need to child it to, well, I mean, really lady's choice on if this is cool or not. Could be cool. You could child it. I could demonstrate how to child it. That would be another spawn modifier, really. It would just say for this one, turn on object and parent it to, or before it turns it on, parent it to the spawner. So we can look at that. It would be very similar to this, but instead of target, it would be an spawner. Spawn on spawner. Target offset on spawn. We don't need to do these. And I just realized that I am editing the original. Undo. How many times have you done that in your life? Edited the original and then realized later that you destroyed it all because you thought you weren't editing the original. Alright, spawn on spawner. Spawn on spawner. And options, target offset on spawn. Transform position is projectile spawner dot spawn position plus offset. Move it to its own class. Force it to save again because I don't think it's going to save properly because I moved it while it was doing this whole completing domain thing. Save it again. Yeah, it would be. So we need a follow target effect. Tech Dave 99. So let's do that after this. So effect 10 here has a, oh, we need to make it first. Spawn behavior modifications is going to be create new spawn behavior mod, spawn on spawner. And we can just get rid of the new part. Effect 10, take spawn on spawner, throw it up there. We're going to put that above. Override, apply, turn it off, press play. I'm happy with the results of this. It's coming out nicely. Just have to convince people that there's a reason to use this system instead of rolling their own. But I think there is a reason. Besides that, all these various effect things will work out just by itself. It didn't. It didn't. It didn't. Oh, you know what we did? We did spawn on spawner. But you know what we need to do? Add a new option. Public bool parent to target parent to spawner equals false, but we are going to set that to true. And if parent to spawner, then set parent to that, and we're going to do the same thing to this one. Public bool parent to spawner, but parent to target. AI was getting good though, wasn't it? It was doing things, and it didn't get quite right. Oh yeah, no, it did. All right, and for this one, we will change it to be spawn on and parent to spawner. Boom. Save, play. And it's not working. Where is it? It didn't parent to spawner. All right, why didn't it parent to spawner? Did we save everything? I don't know. Did the script not save again? I don't know. Wait. Oh, interesting. So, all right. a thing did, but that thing didn't. So it is a child of it, but for whatever reason, this light is still fixed here. Not that light. That light. Why isn't it moving with the rest? Look at that. Oh, now it's moving with the rest. But when it's turned on, I couldn't even turn it on. All right, so no, there's a custom script. It's more custom scripts. Basically, they seem to have coded it so that that particle, that light always stays the same. And my guess, if I had to guess, it's because they didn't. So that is that light right there. They want this staying right in front, and if you parent it to the rest of the person, then it will move, and they didn't want that. So they just say, for this one, the player can't move. And that's that. So it's just a very opinionated package. So what we can do, although we can mix, so I'm gonna spawn on spawner. It's fine that we have this parent button. That's fine. We can keep that. But what we're gonna do now, instead of worrying about spawning, we're gonna do Tech Dave. That we're gonna make it look at target, and for that, this is going to be a motion behavior, where we just look at target, movement behavior rather. So a new one of these, but we should get this, and we're gonna do down here, and it's gonna be very simple. Look at target, movement behavior, and new look at target movement behavior. I think they all say movement behavior. I pushed the wrong button. I pushed probably delete or something. Okay, and then on this, we're just going to say public override target does not equal no return. Otherwise, look at target transform. Public transform target transform. All right. So if you do change the target in the middle target, you could do a smooth damp and all that, but we're not gonna do that here. That is feature creep. Feature creeping. So movement behaviors, create movement behavior. What happened? Create moving behavior. I probably just didn't save. Again. I'm glad the stream's working out tonight. It really bummed me out that wasn't. Create. The new one though is fiber, so apparently it has the same download and upload speed. So it's like, this one, my download speed's like 1.2 gig, which is very fast. And the upload, though, is much slower. It's supposed to be 20. It's never 20, but it's supposed to be 20 or something. But this one, it's 1 gig both ways, so that's nice. Moving behavior, look at target. And we're just going to look at target. And effect 10. We will say movement behavior, look at target. That should work because all the movement behavior here is just doing the tick. It's not doing any other actual movement. You could, of course, make it move if you really wanted to. You could make the spawn 4 of them if you really wanted to. That's the point. Alright, is it moving? Ooh, it is, but it's missing the target. Why is that? Maybe if we make it lower. Weird. Oh, you know what we should do? I face this problem all the time. I'm sure we all do. We need an option here. So we need to this is look at target. Yeah. For public void or public bool. So, okay, I think it's tilting up is the problem. So it's tilting up to look at the target. Yeah, I think it's because it's new. I got this house brand new, and they keep saying that the whole, like the other day when my internet was just cutting out entirely, like I couldn't even work because just was turning off. I went out to get to go to the store, figuring pass some time, and there was a guy out there. And I said, hey, oh, you're working on the internet? Because I had just made an appointment for the following day. And he said, oh, yeah, the whole node, something on this street is causing the whole node. And so they were working on it. But they've been doing that. I keep seeing them on the streets, like my street, the street outside my street. I see them all the time working on stuff. So whatever it is, they just haven't gotten their act together. So hopefully AT&T has their act together. So I think it's tilting. So we need it to not tilt up. So oftentimes, like if I'm asking a player with player position on the ground to look at the target, I want it to not look at the... I don't want it to tilt up to look at the target. I just want it to turn towards the target. And I think this case it's looking up at the target. So I guess we could do an offset. That would make more sense in this case. Can we do an offset here? That doesn't work. Oh, that works. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna have to do that. Because usually I would just zero out the Y to make it the same. But for this type of thing, it could easily want to look up, but I think we know that our target is high, and so we're gonna make it go low. Look at target. Offset -1y. What I like about these is you can just name them exactly what they are, and then you can have a bunch of them if you really want to. It doesn't really matter, right? Spectrum and Verizon. We have, well, it's different per city, and it's I've got a rant about it, but we have Astound by Wave and ATT by ATT. There you go. Still didn't hit it, but I think we need to add the other code to actually make it hit it. But what always gets me is you only have 2 choices ever. You always have the shitty choices like satellite that nobody's going to actually choose, but you really only ever have 2 choices. And they do this on purpose. They don't need to collude with each other because they just do it. They don't need to talk about it. They all just do it. And so no matter where you go, there's 2 choices. I'm not in San Francisco. I'm outside of San Francisco, a little bit outside of San Francisco. Closer to Sacramento. But yeah, there's always that. That's it. I have no idea. I just remember I hated Comcast was the absolute worst. I was living in LA 20-something years ago after college, and I remember getting so pissed off, spending so many hours on the phone with Comcast, getting dropped, calling back, having to wait another hour, and then all of a sudden it would disconnect again. It was the worst. The worst. They got better, but still I hate them forever. So effect 10, now we have collision. Hey, we got the helper script. Why didn't it collide? Let me try turning the target motion off. Maybe we just weren't colliding. Time Warner became, I don't know. They're all just one big conglomerate. I don't know where the collision's happening then. Effect 10 collision. It literally created a new object. Effect 10 collision. Oh my. There's supposed to be a hand? Oh, that's probably the hand going. Oh my gosh. So this is the collision itself. God damn it. So I'm not going to do this. This is another place where I will edit this and say this is a limitation that you can write a thing. Effect 10. Effect 10. Effect 10 on collision creates a new object, or it doesn't create an object, but spawns, instantiates effect 10 collision. So some additional work will be required. If you'd like to use that effect and pass the collision to the system. I'm just gonna leave it there. Additional work will be required, because I'm not gonna do that. But this is the thing that gets me about this package, is there's so much that's custom about it that you just have to write. Like, I can't imagine any developer using this package. You can't use this package out of the box, because all of the collisions is what you need, the collisions, and you can't look at the collisions. So it looks cool. And also you can't preview any of the effects in the particle system. You can't preview them. You have to press play and turn them on and off to actually see what they look like. That annoys me too. I'm just in a sour mood, I guess, about all this. So this is probably just attached to the hands. That's it. So silly. Okay. You know what? Let's take a moment. Come out of Realistic Effects Pack 4 and go into another one. How about vote, everybody? Should we go into JMO Assets Cartoon Effects Remaster or Forge 3D Sci-Fi Effects or Arcanor Sci-Fi Arsenal? I might go with what you vote for, but I'm going to set up a new Asset Store integration for it. Create folder, new folder, create, what do we need in here? Data objects, prefab, scene, data objects, prefabs, scene, scripts, and for the scene, we will duplicate this one, bring it into our new folder scene. Which one helps me envision the final product? God damn it, there's actually an answer for that, but it wasn't the one I wanted to do. The answer, my friend, is Sci-Fi Effects. That's the one that I didn't want to do. Wait, that's the wrong. I switched songs mid singing. Sci-Fi Effects. So we'll say Forge 3D because Sci-Fi Effects, just in case folks don't know. Alright, let's open that up. Save. This is going to be ooh boy. Let's undo this scene. Z. And we're gonna copy the other scene actually. The main scene. Wherever it is, this one. Why am I going to do that, you might ask? Because I want to make a prefab variant of this one. And I didn't want to make a prefab variant of the other one. Demo player. Should have called it that. Okay. All right. Let's look at what this pack. I've never looked at this package. Oh, this one was interesting. It came with the Unity package and a README saying, because it had the URP and the HRP, and I thought that was a decent way of doing it. But now I need to figure out which ones I actually need. Do I need the help menu? I don't need the pool manager. I don't even know why they're including a pool manager. Do I need that? I'm going to say no. I only want the particles. See, my concern is there's going to be a lot of custom shit here too. I don't want the scene. I guess I need the code. But there's a... Look at all that code. There's a lot of code. Don't need that. Okay, I definitely want the effects. Don't need the examples, but there's a lot of prefabs. Oh my god. A lot of shaders, a lot of sounds, turrets. That's what I was looking for, actually. I've been using Cartoon Effects. Well, I used it a long time ago. The turret one is the one I'm going for. I want to show turrets. That was the whole point. So I'm going to include the turrets. Don't need the warp tunnel. I'll keep the sounds. Keep the shaders. Don't need that. Miscellaneous, I guess I'll keep it because I don't know. I'm confused about the examples because it seems like there's a lot of prefabs in the examples. I'm afraid of installing it because I don't actually want examples. Is there? Okay, I feel like I need the examples. Alright, import. Ugh. Which decision matters? Oh, that's what I was afraid of. Because I didn't include the pool manager, the code doesn't work. I don't want the pool manager. And it deleted its own file. Did it? No, it didn't. Okay. Alright, I'll bring in the pool manager. I hope people don't go through the same process with my stuff. They probably do, by the way. My real goal here is to show pretty things, so when I put this on the asset store, people say, ooh, I want that. That's why. And I can't make good particles myself. Alright, let's bring something in. What are our effects? Burnout. Debris. Flames. That's a flame. Not bad, not bad at all. Alright, we could do stuff with that. We could make a flamethrower. Examples. Prefabs. Probably has to move. Let's press play. Then that's it, and then it stops, and then it has no reference exception. Why is it not moving? At least there's comments and a namespace. The update loop should be refactored. Alright, so let's look for another example. Look. Well, okay, never mind. I was thinking something else. Where is our turrets? Assembled turrets. There's all of them. I only want one of them. Alright, we're going to do turret electric. Delete. This is going to be our new shooter, by the way. For this one, we don't need the cube. It's a cool looking turret. Does it have anything on it? Has just the thing, socket swivel. Is there any code at all? It doesn't look like it. Alright, so what do? This is the thing that rotates like this. And this is the thing that rotates like this. And this is the thing that doesn't rotate. All right. So mount swivels and turret swivels. Or socket swivel. Okay, so socket swivel and socket mount. And this is just going to look at the target. Okay. So it is. I like it. I bought this package somehow a long time ago, and I've been always looked at it and known about it and thought I should do something with that. Alright, so this is going to do what? It's not moving. So it's not going to move. Instead, it's just going to look at the target. So all we really need is a simple look at script. Yeah, so we're not going to over engineer something that's a solved problem. We're going to do a simple look at script here. In fact, are there any look at scripts? Look at, I have a simple, are these, whose is these? This is me, this is me, this is, I don't know if it's me actually. This is me. Those are all me. Look at position in 3D world, look at target movement behavior, simple look at. So we're going to do simple look at. Simple look at. And we're going to simple look at the target. And these ones, you know what they're going to do? Simple look at's going to need a little bit more complex. Lock X, public bool, lock Z true, and lock X, and then okay. So I always get confused. I have to check which one are we locking on this one. I think we're gonna lock in the Y on this one. I set those to true by default. Oops, those should be set to false. Because now whatever else uses the turret is gonna have that set true. Oh well, maybe nothing else, or the script, maybe nothing else has the script. Alright, so this, we only want to rotate the Y, so we want to lock the other two. And then for the mount, simple look at, we only want to rotate the X. So lock the other two, and we're looking at demo target. Alright, let's just see if it works. What? What am I missing here? Why is this? Did I click the wrong thing? I probably clicked the wrong thing. Okay. I may have set this up wrong too. There might be a better way, more obvious way than whatever I just did. Yeah, it's. I think I'm doing it wrong. Okay, let's talk. Ask the AI. AI. Goal here is to look at the target, but this may be used on a turret where it can only turn side to side. We would like to lock the directions it shouldn't rotate. Quaternions. Yep. Ooh, interesting. That's much longer, but that's okay. Let's copy it and just go with it and see what happens. What's it doing? Store current Euler angles. Do all this other stuff. All right. What do you mean by transform forward? Working off transform forward. Yeah, you could do angle move towards. There we go. Look at that. It's oh, wow. That's not what I expected, but it's automatically updating those locks. And if I take the target in my hand, so it misunderstood me. Local version of moving forward. I'm still not sure what you mean by it benefit from that. Is that just like to look at because you know that the direction, or I'm not sure what you mean. My mistake. The goal of the bools is to say, for example, if only lock Y is false, then it can only rotate on the Y axis. But if all are false, then it can freely rotate. Let's see if the AI monstrosity did it differently this time. Oh, I think I know what you mean now. The whole forward thing, when I first started using Unity, the whole transform forward versus world forward confused the shite out of me. Alright, that looks better. Nope. Unless we just don't have the lock settings right. Let's see. Oh. No, I made them look at the wrong thing. I need to look at target position. And we're going to make a preview of this, or version of this. Look at demo target position. Name it very explicit. Bring this down to our prefabs. Make a variant. Move it to the right place. And press play again. Alright, so now if I take my target here and I move it up. Yeah. There we go. Nice. I'm surprised they didn't have a look at script, don't you think? I think they just should have had that. So I'm going to change a couple things. Got a new point to move between. And this is going to be... See the little red dot there? Not there. Here. And then we'll move the turret to be... What? Wait a minute. Why am I... Oh, because... Alright. That should be zeroed out. Alright, I see. I saved the wrong... I saved the wrong thing, but that's okay. Alright, so we're going to move this to be over here. Rotate just a little bit. And then our camera... I really wish this was a toggle, that you could just toggle between the two, but it's not. And there. We'll turn off our player. We're not actually going to use our player in this demo, I suppose. Don't wish to make it happen. That would be a fun little project to figure out how to force that to be a toggle and make it a free asset store thing. It's too much hassle to even download it though. Alright, so this is a good view. I think I need to reorder the... Oh no, it's just going to do that. Okay, that's fine. That's relaxing to look at the turret move. It's a good looking turret. I do like it. I like it. Alright, let's make it shoot. I'm getting hungry, so let's make it shoot. Demo turret. So the reason why I chose one with 2 barrels is that there are 2 things that can shoot now. Independent. And I wonder, the thing itself that shoots, the barrel electric. It moves. It has no... scripting on it. There must be scripts in this package that I just didn't see, right? Because it's screaming to have scripts, and they had scripts. I'm just surprised it's not on this. It's probably baked into the demo scenes and stuff. What's your preferences? Is your preference to have a turret that has 0 scripts, but the scripts exist and you could add them if you wanted, or is it to have a prefab that just is ready to go, you press the button and it just works, and then you can tap into the code, you know, with your own code. This is Forge 3D sci-fi effects from Forge 3D. All right. We'll have to make those move, but we're gonna make our spawn positions on these. So create 3D object, empty object. Spawn position left, and we will make it up here. Uh, 1.85 we'll say, and then where's the right one? Oops. Spawn position right. So, in this case, there's going to be two things that have projectors, right? Because this is a projectile spawner, and now both of these are going to be projectile spawners. We're going to have to write some new scripts. How should we set this up? I guess the best thing is to actually put this is the thing itself. Yeah, so add component, projectile spawner. Okay, and yep, add the same here. All right, so this one, the spawning transform is this, the rotating transform is this, the tilting transform. In this case, we aren't using all of the features. Some of the features will make use of those rotations and whatnot, to make things move. In this case, I don't think we need to. That's my guess. And then the target position for each of these is the target we are aiming for. Okay, we will set up our observer still. Even though our demo actor is going to be kind of just sitting off to the side. Not doing anything. Turn that off. Okay. What's next? Next we need a thing. So let's just quickly bring in our own, not worry about it, or even better, we'll bring in one of the realistic effects pack ones, 4 ones, because those look prettier. And this is going to be on both of these. And projectiles. Just do... Was it effect 1 that was the cool one? I think, perhaps. Alright, effect 1. And then we have our demo controller. Player. We're going to call this, instead of player, we're going to call this spawn barrels or projectors. We'll just call it projectors, I guess. And then whenever we do our player, because there's a trajectory thing that we have have to consider. Really, I should make an... Yeah, okay, you know what? I should do this right. Let me do this right. Make a new version of this. Demo controller. Multiple barrels. And it's going to inherit from demo controller. There you go. And then we'll do public projectile spawner barrels. And we're going to make these protected virtual so we can override them. Okay. Move it to its new home. And then we can add that here. Barrel. What did I call it? Can't remember. Oh, demo controller. Demo controller. Did it not save? It didn't save. Hello, Corey Ronald. Always write your own script. Okay. You currently making a game in the game industry? That's a good question. Are you guys all doing that? Or are you making a game outside of the game industry? Is that an okay answer? Multiple barrels. We're going to make a variant of this. I guess we don't really need to, but okay. Barrels is going to be this one and that one. Let's rename these properly. So they don't have the exact same name. All right. And let's figure out which ones we need to bring over. For show trajectory, we're just going to do show trajectory from one of them, I suppose. And then try shoot. We will do this. Why can't we? Oh, override. Nope, that's not why. Oh, yep, I put it outside of the class. I do that from time to time. All right, so now we're going to do for each barrel and barrels. Thank you. See the AI, it knows. Doesn't always know. It knows. All right, let's just see if it works now. Ugh. I've been successfully losing weight, and then I fell off the wagon this weekend and I gained 2 pounds. And now I've been sitting here and my belt has been digging into my belly. You know how it is. Programmer. A star. All right. Whoa. I forgot this one has the 3. And now they're both shooting. All right, let's do some things here first. Let's turn off the demo player. We don't need that. We'll take these right and left. Yeah. Where are my... Oh, this one. This one. And we'll add... I don't remember which ones are projectiles now. 10 was a projectile. I think the teens were all projectiles. I didn't do the teen non-projectiles yet. Alright. What do I consider myself foremost? A star. I don't know. It's tough. With Infinity PBR, I'm in a way more of a producer because there's so many people I like pay to do stuff. How come this isn't changing? Alright. So I don't know. Probably a coder, programmer, more than anything. Developer. Need to turn this off. And then I have to set up the next. These have to be overridden as well. For each var barrel and barrel previous projectile, next and previous, next projectile. Okay, there we go. I know that's because I'm the guy who spent all of my savings and had to get a day job with Infinity PBR because about 2.5 years after I started shelling out money, I didn't have as much anymore, and I realized that pretty soon I was gonna have none. So I had to get the day job, and that was nearly 7 years ago. But I hire out the things I can't do, which is all the modeling, all the animation, a lot of the texturing I can do now, but sometimes there's better texturers. What's going on here? UI is not working properly. And I think the spawn position looks like it's off. Yeah, it's doing... For some reason it's down there. Where are my spawn positions? Why is it spawning from the not spawn position? Oh, I didn't tell it. Spawn transform. That's my fault. So my UI is not working. Telling me which one's active. And let's also turn on trajectory and see what that looks like. For this demo, I don't think I'm gonna collectible skins. I don't think. Well, it's not turning them on anyways, but that one doesn't really look that good. There you go. So I mean, I could feature creep myself and make this like alternate or when you hold it down, just keep it firing. I'm not going to feature creep it. This demo will be to show how to set up multiple barrels, and then how you want to do that beyond that is going to be up to you. But I do want to add one other thing. I want to add this going poo, 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 poo. So let's ask ChatGPT to write us a script. All right. In my Unity project, I have a barrel of a big turret gun, and it can slide back. So I want a very simple class that will take a position and a speed and a return speed, and when fire is called, it will move to the position at speed and then return to the original position at return speed. What do you guys... Oh, okay. So if... Two answers. The bull. One, if I had a trust fund, I would be making Legend of the Stones, and I would not be making assets. I would just be making Legend of the Stones, and that's it. If I had a very big trust fund, I would be making Legend of the Stones and making all the characters and stuff from scratch with artists and all that, and paying them for it. Instead, if without a very big trust fund, I'd just use the asset store, you know. If I had to have a day job in the games industry and I could choose whatever, I'm an ideas guy, so I'd probably be the ideas guy, right? What stops me from making Legend of the Stones? Dollar bills, y'all. Dollar bills. Ultimately, it is the dollar bills, y'all. I have a natural disposition to running out of money. I think it stems back to my childhood, to high school specifically, and my dad constantly losing his job in the tech industry, which is probably why, even though I grew up in the Bay Area, and that is the best place to have grown up in this modern world, and I could have gotten jobs in the tech industry. I was working for Wind River Systems as a senior in high school, doing just random work that if I had just paid attention to it, I could have gotten a job there right after high school doing web programming in 1998. Pretty good gig for the time, but no, I went a different direction and I decided to get a film degree. But yeah, and so I think ultimately I do this because, one, I like making stuff, and I like selling it, and if I can make a little money, that's helpful. Some years are better than last year and this year. Times are tough right now in the asset store world, I think. But so bringing in the extra money helps, because I would like to have a day job because I want a trust fund, you know. So the new tactic I've taken in last year, halfway through the year, it was very clear that I was going to not make as much money from the modeling and from the selling models and creating models, and so I had to stop producing them because I was spending money that I wasn't going to have, and that sucked. So I slowed down, and then, you know, very little since then. Quick movement. This is what we're going to call it, movement. Trigger movement. I don't know what to call it. And I decided to take a new tactic. I want to work, but I want to make stuff good for my game. I want to do it right, and I want to make money as I go. So let me build. When I build stuff for my game, let me make an asset out of it and then sell that. Which is why you got things like North Star navigation. Why you've got the color thing. You've got those because I wanted them for my game, and so I made them for everybody's game. And that's why I'm doing this, because I need projectiles. In fact, I was in Legend of the Stones, and I thought, oh, I can run around now. I can do all this stuff. Let me make these flying eyes shoot lasers at me, and let me shoot arrows at them. And then I thought, I need a projectile system. And here we are. So. It's tough. It sounds like this now I have to manage a team and deal with all that, and it seems like a headache. I do a mastery class, mastery group that I forget to go to most weeks on Wednesday nights with stories in it, and a bunch of other people. It was one of the Wyman classes that I got into years ago when I paid Wyman a lot of money for one of his courses I never finished. And one of the guys there is making a game, and he has a team he hired to do stuff. I should ask him how that goes, because it feels to me like a lot of manager work. And one of the things I don't like about hiring out people is having to manage them. I want people to just be good, but that's not the case. Sometimes they are, but often it's not the case. So, yeah, I don't know. I just need a trust fund. Keep looking for one. I can't find one. Target position. Speed. Return speed. Original. So we're going to speed this up. Oh, I guess that's a multiplier. Maybe. We'll have to change that a little bit, I think. Original position. And we're going to keep that at start and never change it. And I don't think we need that. Okay, start, cache that. Good, cache me outside. Is firing, move barrel to that. Else, return, move barrel to that. All right. This might not be quite right. This is our public void firing. If it's not firing and... No, we're just going to do this. We'll invert this. Invert this. Oops. So I want it to be able to fire and just always go back. So we're going to tell our AI friend. Hello, friend. We're going to say, here's the updated script. Now, this should always be able to fire, even if it hasn't returned all the way. Only time it shouldn't is if it's still currently going back. It might get confused by going back. I just realized that. Hello! You want particles? We got your particles right here. I'm not enthusiastic about management. Yeah. Here's some particles. Here's some more particles. Here's some more particles. This is my favorite one for this. The particles for this one are realistic effects pack. The turrets from the Forge 3D sci-fi effects, but I'm going to use the particles from that package in the end. I'm just don't have those set up yet, which is why I'm using the other ones because they look prettier. It said it updated the code. I didn't read the code. We really should read all of the code from the AI before you just copy paste. Alright, so now I'm going to add turret barrel. I didn't even read it yet. I haven't read it. But that's okay. Because it's 2024. We live dangerously in 2024. This is the thing that moves. Yes, it is. So we're a turret. Oh, I didn't call it a trigger movement. And what position do we want it to be at? This. So negative 0.074 and 0.327. Copy component. Oops, I shouldn't undo all that. 0. Uh-oh. Where was it before? There. Wait a minute. Oh. I'm confused. This is where we want to start. Yeah, end up at 0. Yes. Okay. And then on our demo controller, we're gonna hard code this for the barrels. Protected virtual void start. We're gonna do private trigger movements, and we need to name this properly. Trigger movement. All right, and then on start, we're going to say for each of our barrels, barrel dot, or we're going to say trigger movements dot add I guess we don't need to do that start. We'll just assign them. Try shoot. And for then shoot a trigger movement in barrels. Barrel, okay. Yeah. Okay. I get it. All right, now write it for me. Whoa. Nope. Barrel. Oh. I see. Let's make this a 4. Yeah. Control 4. And index. And int index. There we go. Now let's just live dangerously. Do that. Why isn't this working? What did I miss? What did I do wrong? I think that was it. All right. I think that's all. That was a messy code. Oh, ChatGPT 4, way better. Way better. Worth the money in my book. Did I make those private? I made those private, didn't I? Way better. And you know what else I forgot to do? System.serializable. I always forget to add that. Yeah. There we go. Trigger movements are going to be in this and in this. Oops. This right. Okay. Let's see if it works. One of them's in the wrong spot now. It's not out enough. Alright, they are too slow. And this one's too far back. It's probably supposed to match this. And the speed should be 10 and 5. Technical artist. That's a well-paying gig. There aren't too many of them. Where should you study? The internet. Some of these don't work without projectile demo actor. Anyways, I'll fix that. But there you go. That's doing something. I think it's... There are times where I click it and it doesn't go back. But it's cool. It doesn't look like the damage is going, so we need to work on that. But more to do, but... That's cool. Okay, I'm gonna call it a stream. This has been a long stream. I'm glad it worked this time. 3 hours. Yeah. So. Yep. Ship it. You never used the code, huh? I mean, I use the code, but I will heavily modify it. And if it's something very simple, I'll just use it. But I'll heavily modify the things, and I'll fix things up, and I go back and forth with the AIs. So, feature creep. We're not going to be blowing up the capsule. We're just going to shoot at it. We're just going to demonstrate how you can use the system with 2 guns now. Because each one has its own projectile spawner on it. But yeah. Alright, that's it. Thanks for hanging out. There you go, that's what I figured. Thanks for hanging out. It's been a good time. Glad the stream didn't drop too many frames. Total of 363. That's not so bad. And I'm going to make a cocktail in code. But sorry, the bull. Not on the stream. I feel my eyes like... I must be tired. I feel my eyes. And I've got 5 hours of meetings tomorrow. Almost back to back. Yeah, it's been a good time. And progress was made. So that's fun. Alright. See y'all. Thanks for hanging out. Bye-bye.